What's the deal? Yeah, what's the deal? What's the deal? How you feel? What's the deal? Where you at?
So y'all here? Y'all like inspiration? Y'all like motivation?
Denise Camille.
Y'all like inhalation?
Denise Camille.
Y'all know I gotta make up a few words here and there, but who y'all here with?
Ventilation and Denise Camille.
Under the act, but we not playing no games.
We're not into games. We don't like Sega, PlayStation, or Xbox.
So y'all here with Dilate the Dialogue with Denise Camille.
Dilate the dialogue.
We gotta open up, not them legs, but the minds.
Denise Camille.
Cause I know y'all trying to find y'all strength.
Denise Camille.
Intertwined with the life of me.
Denise Camille.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. We are here with another episode of Dilate to Dialogue. With who else? Denise Camille, me. My favorite, my love, my first choice, my priority, my self-portrait, my mosaic, Denise Camille. Today's episode, I want to go into a little more of an individual topic, more of a purposeful self-awareness, which y'all know I love, my relationship with self-awareness. We're always assessing our thoughts, actions, and emotions. I want to talk about today's topic, and I'm going to read it out because I want to make sure I get it correct. Respected you when I rejected me. And I'm going to say that one more time. I respected you when I rejected me. I respected you when I rejected me. And of course, my mind is like racing into so many different avenues, but yet it's coming to the same crossroads in the road, right? I respected you when I rejected me. So I'm looking at it from a mother to child perspective, a mate to mate perspective. Those are the only two that I see valid. And it's also, I can say, an ego to will perspective, self on self, right? So when we talk about I respected you when I rejected me, I'm going to go into the mother to child perspective. And of course, that to me, every angle discusses one topic or one word. And to me, that's voice, right? So that's the, I don't want to say the trigger word, but that's the pineapple word for the night, which is voice, right? Because as a mother to child, when you respect your mother, you reject yourself. You reject your voice. Why? Because you believe that what the parent, most times mother or father, we can go with either or, you respect them so much, you don't know who you are. And I don't know about everyone, yet for me, from a West Indian upbringing background, from Trinidad, our upbringing is more out of tradition and culture, right? Even though I was raised in Far Rockaway, New York. Okay, I'm doing too many shout outs today. I remember writing my biography for an event that was being hosted, and I had to address both. Even though I was raised in a household of tradition and culture from Trinidad, I was also raised in the environment outside the house of America, which is, to me, freedom and choice. So I had tradition, culture, freedom, and choice that had to be collectively cohesive for completion of care, which is myself. Needless to say, it's been a route that it's not your linear, go from point A to point B and you'll get there. No, You got to go down Avenue C and get to the back roads of D and find yourself on a country journey to Johannesburg, just trying to find out where exactly am I going and why am I here? Because a lot of that tradition and culture is based out of fear, right? So going back to the parent to child, it's I respected my parents to the point where I didn't know myself. Let me say that again. You respected your parents so much out of fear that you didn't know yourself because you wanted to make sure that they were happy. You wanted to make sure that they weren't embarrassed. You wanted to make sure that what you had going on was not as important as what they had going on, right? You wanted to be mindful of the fact that your mom or your dad and your dad were both equally prideful and proud in regards to who they were or who they wanted everyone else to believe they were, right? So when I respected you, I rejected me. As an adult now and a parent of 4, I had to realize that in order for me to respect myself, I will make the choice to not have my children reject themselves. I made the choice to allow me to take care of me in love, or what I thought was love at that point, and my actions were adequate to have integrity for myself as my children are watching, because love is an action, right? Yet, of course, I have flaws. I am not the perfect parent. Yet I had to make sure that I wasn't rejecting myself to respect or to gain the respect of somebody else. Even if I flip it from child to parent, for my parents, I had to come to the conclusion of understanding that in order for me to respect myself, parts of me had to reject them. Does that make sense? Parts of me had to reject what they were asking of me, what they felt that I needed to be for them. Give me 1 second here. What they figured that I needed to be. And most times it's us just being free to who we are, yet where our parents are living vicariously through our lives, right? And I know that makes sense to a lot of us. I know I'm not speaking to the choir. Yet we have to acknowledge the fact that we can no longer reject ourselves and the strength of somebody else's choices, lack of decisions, any of that. From a parent to a child, from a child to a parent, be who you are. Be who you are acknowledged to be. Be who that purposeful calling is asking of you to be. Respecting yourself from that angle, from a parent to child, child to parent. I'm going to let that simmer for a little bit. We're going to come back with the next segment to talk about the mate to mate, because that's a whole nother, that goes in a little bit deeper, y'all. So I'm going to let y'all breathe on this one. And we're going to come back. Okay. All right, y'all. We back. Okay. So we're talking about today's topic. When I respected you, I rejected me. And we're talking about mate to mate on this segment, because we just talked about parent to child or child to parent. So this segment talks about mate to mate. When I respected you, I rejected me. So what that looks like from mate to mate is discussing one word again. The one word that pops into my mind is value. Had I valued myself enough, I would not have even given you the respect or the time of day, right? Had I known my worth from the rip, you wouldn't have even walked into my life. You would have been a figment of my imagination. Yet there was a lesson that came along with you being in my life. There's a lesson that I need to learn. And the ones that have the hardest lessons are what? Either the most stubborn or they're not catching it the first time. Okay. Or there was some spiritual healing, some karmic background, traumatic bonding, something. There was an attraction of an alignment of why we attract what we attract, yet recognizing your inner voice is telling you what you need to hear or what you should be listening to, yet you're hearing the voice of someone outside of yourself, trusting that because you don't trust yourself. And I talked about that before with the codependency of someone else's lack, right? That means that we lack. So, and I'm kind of jumping ahead, yet mate to mate, I respected you and I rejected me. Had we respected ourselves enough, we would know a rejection is where we need to be redirection, right? Our direction needs to be redirection. Because we're fully aware of what our intuition is telling us. Yet, sometimes we're kind of hard-headed. And we want to be able to cater and change and cuddle and, be able to mold something that's not for us to mold. Because again, the only three things that we're capable of changing is our thoughts, our actions, and our emotions. And we all have intentions and intuition. With intuition is hearing, with discernment is application of what you've been told. And that's from the inner. It ain't got nothing to do with outside in this physical realm. I'm talking about the spirit realm. We all have those, people call them voices, those spirits, those spirit guides, those angels, ancestors, universe. Whatever your connection is, higher power, it speaks to you. Just like in the Christianity song, speak to my heart, Holy Spirit, give me the words that will bring new life, words of the wings of the morning. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to continue singing. Yet those words, those voices speaks to our heart. It speaks to that inner calling that we have, right? Those mates that we're recognizing, most times we are aware of what we're dealing with. We're just trying to sugarcoat and say, no, that's not it. We're going to put frosting on it. It's like makeup, the devil's frosting. We're just going to, no, that's not it. That's not what you're going to look like. Yet we're doing that because we don't want to subdue to the fact that there's a lesson here. It's a lesson of growing strength, of growth. If it's not a blessing, it's a what? It's a lesson, y'all. Come on. So this mate to mate, when you respect someone else, you're giving them your worth. You're giving them your value. You're enabling them to be less than, yet in your eyes, you're filtering it to see them as greater than. And in reality, you're the gift. Right? I know that was a lot that I just gave out. I don't want to say vomit because it wasn't bad. It wasn't toxic. It's the truth. A lot of times we don't want to hear the truth. We don't want to be told the truth because it hurts. But the truth does reveal where we need to grow from and where we need to go up to, level up. Like I said, it's like Super Mario Brothers. Dun, 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 dun. Yet we're at a place of having to figure out where we are, why we are, who we are. Right? So it's having to see the mate to mate. And sometimes we're attracting these toxic people because they feed us pieces of our voids. And we're like, wow, I didn't know I could feel that way. I didn't know I could do that. Yet they're giving to take. I could think of, I usually go to nursery rhymes or cartoons. Then pops in my mind like Hansel and Gretel. They're the witch, right? She'll give you the candy. She'll say, here, take what you want. But in reality, her intentions are, I'm fattening you up to eat you, to devour you. Because since you want to respect me so much and you reject yourself, And you know you're supposed to be over here in this neck of the woods? Oh yeah, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Eat it. Because I'm about to eat you. We have a lot of people, a lot of us as human beings, we know we're not on the same level as our mates. We know we stepping down like, oh, what's going on down there, y'all? Oh, okay. We doubt our worth. We doubt our value. We doubt what we deserve based on the fact of us not knowing what we're worth. Us not knowing who we are because we don't think we're good enough to be where we are. Because our intentions are on the fly. We're not living with intentions. We're not living with manifestations and making sure that we're focused on all the time. And I'm not gonna lie, it is tough. It's tough. Yet the universe will stay throwing tests at you to see, are you ready? Are you ready to figure out what your next level is? Are you ready to get out of this level? Because everything we do is based on our thought process. If we think we're stuck, how do you change it? You get unstuck. You do what? You change your mindset. You change your habits. You change your environment. You get out. It's not always easy. Yet it's worth it. It's worth it, y'all. It's worth it. We'll take that. Take this next break and we can jump into the third one. Last and final one. Self on self. Woo. Self on self, y'all. All right. Take care. All right, y'all. So we back. We back. Part 3 to this. When I respected you, I rejected me. So we talk about self on self, the ego versus the will. When we respected our ego, we rejected our will. So, and when I say that, I talk about how we as human beings, again, we feel that we have to cater to our ego. And I'll go back to another movie, Little Shop of Horrors. The plant. He was like, feed me, Seymour. And Seymour had to feed him before he did anything else that he was supposed to do, his responsibilities. The ego made him accountable to him first. The ego prioritized himself first, opposed to Seymour doing what he had to do when he went to the shop, right? So it was almost like, if we don't recognize that the superficial is a distraction, we will always get caught up not being able to attract what we're needing because we're rejecting our calling. We're rejecting our being on purpose than being in purpose. You know, some of us think that we're here purposefully, yet we're not knowing what our calling is because our mind is wrapped around this or that, other. So we have to, again, those 3 things we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and our emotions. When we control those things, we're able to bring the respect to the will and reject the ego. We respect the higher consciousness within ourselves and reject the lower vibration, because we can control, we can calm the storm of the sea, anything. We have tongues. Those are weapons of warfare. We speak it. If only you knew how powerful you were. Don't be afraid. There's no need to reject yourself any longer. If you know you got to get out of the situation within your own mindset, journal it. Talk to somebody. Call me if you need to. I'm a holistic counselor. Yet what I would say is do the work. Do the work if you can by yourself, because you're going to do it by yourself anyway, because healing is a one-man show. It's a one-person show. You're going to have to take that time to sit with yourself. It's not easy. Yet it's worth it. You're worth it. You're worth knowing how much better you deserve in this life. You're worth healing. You're worth being forgiven. You're worth cleaning yourself and detoxing your mind of all those events in time. Take that time to heal. I'm not about to do an altar call, but take that time to heal for yourself. Do the work. Do the work. When that shadow work comes at your front door and you can't close the door on it because they got their foot right in the door like, it's time. It's been time. You got to deal with us. We here. What you going to do? Remove those toxic traits. Ain't nobody perfect. I'm tired of women blaming men. Oh, it was her. And why do you think you attracted them? Or men, oh, she crazy. Why is she crazy? When you met her, you didn't see it? You didn't feel she was crazy? Your manly intuition didn't kick in? It didn't tell you something? This is why I'm so big on relationship with self. Being aware of what you need to see within yourself. Checking yourself. Even after you do the healing work, excuse me, here comes some more tests in the universe. Oh, okay. You ready to date? Oh, okay. Let's see what you're going to see. Let's see what you're going to attract. Let's see what boundaries you put up. Right? Because we all know we can do great things at what we choose to do. What we choose to prioritize in our life. What we choose to see as greatness or abundance. Right? We choose these things. We choose these things because we need to make sure that we're making ourselves look good, feel good, smell good, taste good, all of that. At the end of the day, is that for your calling? Is that for your greater good? Is it? All right, y'all. Y'all see my information down below in the link. Hit me up, email me, text me, call me. Let me know how you feel, what you think, what you're commenting on. I'm here. I'm Denise Camille. This is Dilate to Dialogue. All right, y'all. Peace.